A long time ago, on a comics page far, far away. Greetings and welcome to May the Panel Be With You, the Star Wars comic book show brought to you by the Punch-Up Entertainment Network. I'm your humble host, Mike Ergoni, and joining me as always, the Dr. Zathon to my femme noir, it's John Campbell.
I love when you struggle with the names. Hello, everybody.
I pronounce that exactly how it's written on the page, John.
Okay. Then I love when they struggle to write names. Boy, we're still in a back-to-back fill-ins here.
Yeah, we are.
They are filling in. That's for goddamn sure.
Yes, because we are covering issue number 84 of the original Marvel Star Wars comics. This issue was released in June of 1984, and as opposed to many of the previous issues we've read up till now, this one is written by Roy Richardson. Who's Roy Richardson? What a good question. Anyway, it's drawn by David Mazzucchelli, who is much more well-known, though that wouldn't happen until after this issue.
Yeah, it is. This is the last time David Mazzucchelli's doing a fill-in issue on a Star Wars comic. For those who don't know, David Mazzucchelli is a legendary comic book artist. You've definitely seen his work because he did things like Daredevil Born Again and Batman Year One. Probably two of the most published comics. Like, those are two things that will never be out of print.
Yeah, it's right up there with, like, Watchmen and Dark Knight Strikes Again in terms of just like, well, there's always going to be a trade paperback of that on a shelf.
Yeah, both of those are like some of the most iconic Batman and Daredevil stories ever written.
Right.
I mean, they named the show after Born Again, for God's sake. So
right. We also have Tom Palmer on inks. Hey, there's a familiar name. Glennis Oliver, back then Ween on colors, and Rick Parker also on letters.
I want to point out something interesting in the editor's credits here, though.
Yeah, in the editor's credits, we have a new name. We have, of course, a Louise Jones, eventually Simonson, and a Jim Shooter, but we also have an Ann Nocenti making an appearance here.
Speaking of a very legendary Daredevil writer.
For sure. Yeah.
Ann Nocenti took over the book after Frank Miller and wrote it for a long time. But, I mean, Ann Nocenti's a name you should definitely know if you're a comics fan.
Gave us the famous scene of Daredevil fighting a possessed vacuum cleaner during the Inferno crossover event.
Yeah, I mean, it is very much 80s into 90s, heavily involved. She was the editor of Uncanny X-Men and New Mutants for a good chunk of the Claremont run. Mm-hmm. And she created characters like Longshot, Mojo, and Typhoid Mary.
Hell yeah.
Yep.
And also has done a lot of her own creative independent work in comics that people should absolutely check out.
No, big old legend of comics, no question about it.
So yeah, seeing her name on this issue was just like, oh, Ann Nocenti, we're in for some good stuff here, huh?
Well, no hold on. She didn't write this.
No, I maybe did him a little bit of a dirty word there at the top, but yeah, this issue is written by a guy named Roy Richardson. Now, what has Roy Richardson done? Some stuff.
I mean, he is one of those guys, right? We were looking up his credits before this, and you're like, he wrote an issue of that and an issue of this. He inked some stuff. He would let me say, I don't, not to besmirch the man, but if he's a name you don't recognize, which neither of us did, I can't blame you.
Yeah. He's one of those guys that like filled in, did some issues here and there, is probably more well-known these days for his work in inking. And just like he's writing a fill-in issue of Star Wars in 1984. And like, you're never going to hear from this guy in this book again. It is what it is.
Yeah. And I mean, unfortunately, if this is indicative of his writing, yeah. This issue sucks, man. I'm sorry.
This issue is not great. Let's get into it because right off the bat, we have a cover here that's just like, okay, what is happening here?
Well, Han Solo's obviously been chosen to be a Green Lantern. Look at that.
Are those the hands of Sinestro coming for him?
I mean, if you just did a passing glance at this cover, you'd be like, oh, it's Hal Jordan about to get his power ring or something. Nope. Never mind. It's Han Solo doing some treasure hunting?
if you just like if you're watching us on YouTube, hold your hand up to the screen and just cover the Star Wars logo and tell me what is indicative on this cover of a Star Wars.
You would never say this is a Star Wars comic. It would be one of the last things I can imagine you thinking of.
Yeah, I assume this is some like small child who's about to become a rival of Shazam because they accidentally grabbed the wrong magical gemstone.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. I will say it definitely has like magic superhero comic imagery for sure.
Yeah. I expected whoever this prepubescent child is on the cover to be possessed by some demon coming out of the shadows.
It's clearly David Cassidy of the Partridge Family.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Look at that hair. I mean, I know Ford had like a 70s hair, but it wasn't quite this coiffed and feathered.
See, I thought this was, what is it? Great American Hero? What is that show from
Oh, yeah, Greatest American Hero, yeah.
Greatest American Hero. I don't know the actor's name from that show, but that's
William
what...
Catt.
Sure. Of course you would know that off the top of your head.
Yeah, William Catt was the Greatest American Hero. Believe it or not, he's walking on air. Yeah, but it's Han Solo looking at some sort of treasure.
His hand is so tiny.
His hand is tiny. His head is gigantic. His lips are super prominent. I understand they're trying to do a shading thing, but it's really weird. And then, yeah, behind him there are glowing red eyes and some hands with super long fingernails coming to grab him.
Yeah.
I mean, I will say, if you changed up the hair a little bit and maybe worked on the likeness, this almost feels more Indiana Jonesy, does it not?
Mm-hmm. Maybe that's what they're going for.
We are post, I think 84 is when Temple comes out, if I'm not mistaken.
You know the movie dates better than me, John, so.
I'm pretty sure this is Temple of Doom.
So maybe that is like the pastiche we're going for here.
84 is Temple of Doom. So, I mean, we're firmly into 2 movies of Ford is also Indiana Jones.
Yeah. So, anyway, the thing that is on this cover, I guess, kind of happens in this issue, but it's, I don't know, evocative of a thing.
Once again, kind of like last week. Strap in, folks.
Yeah, last week was a weird Lando issue where he got roped into like strange questions of like, hey, should you support revolutionary movements against established government systems, and how much do you get roped into a situation because you have sexual ties to the monarchy? This isn't that. This is Han Solo gets a magic rock and leads him on an adventure.
Let's open the page. I will say, as often happens to me, the amount of words on this page, I went... Yeah. Roy Richardson is channeling some Roy Thomas right now. It's just not... It bums me out, man, when people overwrite these comics like this. And so, because you just are like, Rebel leader Han Solo and his Wookiee partner Chewbacca have... Who? What? If you don't know that, we're off to a bad start. Why'd you pick this up? Completed an important diplomatic mission. I gotta say, I also have some issues with lettering across this whole thing. Look at the way mission, those S's in mission are really jammed together.
Rick Parker, clean it up. Come on.
Yeah, inviting leaders of the nearby planet Zata 3.
Not seen in this issue, by the way.
No. I love that they just mentioned, they were doing some shit. It doesn't matter. To the Galactic Congress, which will decide how the galaxy, now freed from Imperial rule, shall be governed. The dull stuff taken care of. And even the Congress, you don't give a shit about any of that space diplomacy stuff. George Lucas will learn that lesson several years from now. Han and Chewie have moved on to more important business. Han's playing Sabacc, I guess.
They don't call it that, and the way they describe how their hands are played, it's not Sabacc, because...
But these look like Sabacc cards.
A little bit. There's more...
It's a similar, shape to them.
Yeah, and Sabacc cards look different depending on which version of Sabacc you're playing, and like how you're playing the hands.
I've got one in a cupboard that was the official Solo movie Sabacc game.
Sure, and I love that, and that is a variant of Sabacc that is the what is it? Because Kessel Sabacc is what they play in Star Wars Outlaws, and then there's different. Yeah. Basically, there's different ways of playing the game. I'm getting down a rabbit hole now. Anyway, we're playing a game. It's not Sabacc, but it's Sabacc-ish.
At the end of the day, it's a made-up card game.
I know, but they're holding 3-card hands, and in Sabacc you only have 2-card hands. But whatever.
They haven't decided any of that yet.
Yeah.
And so this guy, we're holding up. This is kind of a cool image of us looking at the guy's POV as he holds up this crystal, and we see Han kind of reflected in it, kind of his warped eye.
I mean, hey, say what you will, David Mazzucchelli, good artist.
The art is pretty good in this,
and Tom Palmer, no slouch on inks.
Yeah, I'm gonna bring up. No offense, Glenn Sween. Han's yellow shirt.
He's rocking yellow today.
Yeah. He's feeling. But I do like Chewie just standing back, like there better not be any funny business at this table.
Chewie thinks, standing behind Han Solo, funny business incarnate.
Yep. But this guy is going. Look, he's out of money. He's out of credits. But I've got this crystal.
Yeah, because Han Solo, the captioning says, has cleaned out this particular seedy dive bar, and you can tell because he's got a fat stack of green bills in his left hand here.
Yep. Now, I will say, this guy, especially when we get close to him, is very much a David Mazzucchelli, like Daredevil scumbag character.
Right, because while he may not have any money, he's willing to bet this crystal, and this crystal comes from the planet Sol 5. Ooh.
Because that's because Han says in a jagged-edged word bubble, Sol 5.
Yeah, Sol 5. You know, that planet you've heard of if you've been reading Star Wars.
Well, I do love, this is a classic example of, like, I hate this in movies or comic books, like, Sol 5. Oh, you've heard of it. You mean the planet where blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah? They both know what it is.
Right, yeah, it's bad.
Everybody knows that Sol 5 was destroyed in a cosmic war eons ago. I've been to some of their old outposts myself, and there was nothing left but slagged ruins. Now you're trying to tell me.
Yeah.
So this is what our conversation is about.
Because the readers don't have that context, so I have to say it out loud.
It's I heard a TV writer describe this once as "that guy works there" syndrome, and he was talking about CSI is guilty of this. Where why are the forensics guys explaining forensics to other forensics guys? They all work there. Yeah, it's like, hey, that guy works there. You don't have to tell him how that works. And I like this guy. I love his whole thing about, well, I said I've been there, and you call me a liar, Han Solo? Nobody calls me a liar.
Because he doesn't have any money to bet, but he wants to bet this holo map to Sol 5 and this crystal that he apparently got there in this card game that he and Han Solo are playing in.
Yeah. Can I also bring up this guy's left-handed, which I think is kind of interesting based on where his gun is?
Oh, yeah. Good for him.
Just a interesting note. You don't see done often. So
we get Southpaws in Star Wars sometimes.
Yeah, I know. I like that. And so he's like, let me tell you a story. Doodle-a-doo, doodle-a-doo, doodle-a-doo.
I was an Imperial scouting mission. And yeah, we get this interesting... The timeline of events that this guy describes doesn't make any damn sense. But anyway, he worked for the Empire.
Back before the war. And you're like, okay.
The Clone War? Are we talking the Civil War?
Yeah, I know. That is the thing about, like, it is Star Wars, plural, all right? We've had a lot of war. But yeah, anyway. So yeah, he was working as an... Because that is the thing about, back before the war, I served as a forward scout for the Empire's Exploratory Division. You're like, when was the Empire not at war?
Technically, there was, like, an actual declaration of war between the, like... the Alliance and the Empire, and that's like the official quote-unquote Galactic Civil War.
I guess that's what it is, but there is sort of, for us who have watched all the stuff, there was an immediate rebellion, basically.
Yeah, look, when Saw Gerrera is like day one going like, fuck this.
Yeah. That guy spent a lot of time saying, fuck this.
I mean, I don't think he ever stopped, really.
No, he went down saying, fuck this.
Well, my one gripe with Rogue One is Saw Gerrera just kind of standing there as he explodes.
Yeah. You wanted more of a like, ah!
Or like him going down with the ship in some way. It's more of an act of defiance and not a like, I'm broken. Go, Jin. Save the rebellion. Save the dream.
Yeah. That's not a bad Forrest Whitaker as Saw Gerrera.
Oh, look, I've practiced. There's not much left of me.
I do love his commitment to playing that character. I've mentioned that on here before.
Oh, for sure.
if he's in something, you call me.
Yeah.
So anyway, he
Man,
talked
he's
about
so good in Andor season 2 as just like absolute insane terrorist leader.
Oh, I get why he wants to. What a fun character to play. I mean, just by the way, warped is not a word I associate with Star Wars.
Yeah,
I warped
yeah.
back to normal space. Mr. Richardson, there's a different Star franchise that uses that word, but okay.
That Star franchise is in its like dormant phase at this point.
We're in Shatner movie era,
Okay.
but not Next Generation. So we're ramping back up into peak Star Trek.
But anyway, our terminology for Star Wars is still kind of in its infant phase as well.
It's true, yeah. Yeah.
We have
this guy beamed down to this planet anyway. No.
He warped back into normal space after he got knocked off course by a comet.
Yeah, he was entering hyperspace.
And classic story in space opera, you get knocked off course, you find yourself on an uncharted alien world, and what's this? It is home to ancient ruins of a long-forgotten civilization. Classic stuff.
So anyway, I crashed on a planet, started wandering around.
Yeah, and he recognized them to be Soulian in nature.
Because once again, we're acting like, well, everybody knows about Soul, right? Soul 5.
If the plot of this issue was done, say today, this would be an ancient Sith like civilization, right?
Yeah. Because there's a ton of that shit line.
Or High Republic.
Oh my God, there's so much of that stuff, right? I mean, there's so much. They're always finding lost cities or outposts in Star Wars these days.
Sure. This would be an old Republic outpost. I mean, that was honestly my favorite part of Skeleton Crew was the twist that like, oh no, this was like High Republic stuff that just got like squirreled away.
Yeah. Because once again, we're pretty used to that now. And I mean, the animated series have had a bunch of that stuff. The comics have had a bunch of that stuff.
But no, we have to make something up because this is 1984 and nobody knows anything about the stuff that's going to be written over the next 30 years.
We don't really, and we're still trying to figure out what is and isn't Star Wars.
So now it's Solian.
So he's went around and I discovered a trail of glowing rods that led me deep into one of the structures. And there was a cache of these radiant crystals. I only took one. I only took one. I was going to go bring back another thing, but then the war broke out.
The war.
Yeah. That crazy, crazy war.
So he wants to wager his crystal and this map against the Millennium Falcon so that he can go back there and loot this place.
Now, I love Mazzucchelli. This Han face is straight up nuts. When have you ever seen Harrison Ford make a reaction that big in anything? Pretty subtle.
Yeah, as far as like the warping of the Harrison Ford crag face, this is about as extreme as it gets.
What? You expect me to wager the Millennium Falcon against a phony map and a piece of broken glass?
And then this old pilot starts using Daredevil's radar vision.
Yeah. I did. Yeah, Mazzucchelli's like, it emanates with. Yeah, I know how to do this. Sonic, because this thing starts going,
and it starts to lift Chewbacca off the ground.
Chewie, don't tell me you believe this bantha.
Huh?
He was gonna say shit.
Poodoo.
Yeah, it would be Bantha Poodoo, wouldn't it? Yeah, that was it. Yeah. Gronk.
Because this guy explains that apparently these crystals can boost and absorb psychic energy.
I do really like Chewie just landing right on his butt.
With a foomp. Yeah. This insult might, and maybe should be, enough for Chewbacca to rip this guy's head off.
I would certainly think so. I at least want a moment where he would like lunge him and Han would be like, "Whoa, easy, buddy," something like that. Because this guy's also laughing at it. That would really piss Chewie off.
This introduces something in this particular issue which we cannot think about it too hard, because if we do, we'll never get out of here. And that is that psychic powers are a thing in Star Wars, which they are.
Yes.
But there is never a mention of the Force.
No.
because it's always sort of assumed that any magical power in Star Wars ties back into the Force, at least in some respect. Even stuff as crazy as like the witches of Dathomir raising the dead is just like another expression, albeit a darker, sinister one, of the Force.
Yes. That's, I mean, because we always talk about the Force is this thing and you can tap into it, right?
Yeah.
And so how you use it is kind of not up to you, but based on your abilities, based on your training, based on your intention, right? Whether you're using it for dark or light purposes. Mm-hmm. But it's the Force itself is neutral. It's just a thing.
Right.
It's the classic line about the energy that flows through all living things.
Right.
And some people are able to touch that energy, use that energy in some way. And perhaps, I mean, because I've seen the theories about like, perhaps everybody is, whether they know it or not. Perhaps Han Solo isn't lucky, the Force is just with him. Things like that, where it's like things that you may be even unaware of, but the Force is pulling you in directions. But yes.
This maybe something else. I guess the no prize here is that like this crystal technology lets you tap into a certain amount of the Force regardless of your training and capability.
I mean, that's the only way that I can not go insane in this discussion, right?
Because otherwise we're dealing with like X-Men full psionic potential stuff.
Right, and you're just like, that kind of breaks Star Wars to a certain extent.
Well, it doesn't break it, but it definitely introduces this whole other category of powers that up till this point has never existed.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't break, but it's inconsistent with anything I'm familiar with in Star Wars. And I don't want to get into, because if you start getting into, well, that guy's not with the Force, he's just a superhero on his own. You're like, whoa, what?
Yeah. But anyway this is enough to convince Han to be like, all right, you're on, play your hand.
Which still seems crazy to me, but whatever. I guess this is a Han post-Jedi who's seen enough Force stuff that he's more open to this. Because I feel like Han would still be like, it's still a gag.
Well, also, Han's making this bet knowing that he's got a winning hand.
That is true, yeah. And then this guy's going to try to kill Han.
Because he says that he's got a full system, whatever that means, and there's only one hand that Han could possibly have to beat it, and which is what Han has, and that leads to this guy accusing him to cheat.
The odds against you holding it are astronomical. But then, of course, he has it because he's Han Solo.
Yeah. So it's like...
And he said, you cheating piece of shit.
It's basically like, the only way you could beat me is if you had a royal flush, and if the guy across from you on the table says, well, that is what I have, your immediate response is, well, that is statistically improbable, but still possible, so therefore I must kill you. Yeah.
I mean, this is very like Old West rules about, he cheated in a card game. All right, you're cool to murder him then.
Yeah. But of course, everyone in this particular dive is also like, well, if Han Solo's a cheat and we now have permission to kill him, let's kill him.
Well, because Chewie flips the table on this guy, which is pretty cool.
And random alien goes, did you hear that? Those grubbers cheated us out of our money. Get them.
And then everyone proceeds to fire their blasters.
But Han has the crystal and the map, so they skedaddle.
There they go.
Moments later, the Millennium Falcon soars into space.
I like, sheesh, Chewie, what a tightwad planet.
You almost had to be rude to that attendant before he'd take an IOU for our docking fees.
The comic is really trying to make the IOU for docking fees like a Han Solo thing.
As far as we know, it is.
Oh, yeah, I know. There's just something funny about him saying IOU, but yeah, it adds up. Now, let's see if that old fossil knew what he was talking about. So he puts on the quote. Once again, though, this is now... Are we post-Return of the Jedi at this point? Because this doesn't seem like Han Solo after that. He's just sort of around. There's no mention of Leia or the rebellion.
Yeah, I mean, look, this is definitely post-Return of the Jedi, because in the next page here, because they get to a planet, it seems good, they land, but what's this? We've detected some life forms, and we'll eventually learn that this is some Imperial remnant guys.
That's right, yeah. So, but it's just a weird thing that you're just like, and Han's just cruising around with Chewie, Ben. I mean, maybe, but it just feels weird. It just feels like there'd be a lot more stuff going on. I don't know. It's just weird that Han's just like, Well, let's go gamble on a planet, Chewie.
Also, they were on a diplomatic mission and Leia wasn't with them?
That's right. Sorry, yeah, they did say they were on a diplomatic mission, and then it's just like, and while we're at it, let's play some cards.
I mean, that seems like a Han Solo move, right?
Right, because Leia's not with them, as you bring up. Yeah, but yeah, you don't send Han and Chewie on diplomatic missions. That's not a thing.
Unless it's to Kashyyyk.
Yeah, unless it's to the... And even still, yeah, you send to Kashyyyk. Or perhaps if you need underworld context that Han might have. But the idea that Han is going to be like, so you want to join the New Republic?
Yeah, Han going to Nar Shaddaa and being like, hey, Hutt cartels, come on, join the party. I know I killed Jabba, but whatever.
Hey, it probably worked out for you, though. If you think about it. Anyway, so they land on the planet. A rare thing that is a thing from the movies, but is said here in the comic. I've got a bad feeling about this.
Yeah, that is starting to become more solidified as like, oh, that's a thing they always say.
Yeah, there's now with all three movies out, they're clocking it, right? And so and so he says, Chewie, you stay here and guard the Falcon.
Which bad idea to split the party, good idea to guard the spaceship.
Yeah. And so, boy, when we turn the page, holy, this is quite a toy that you can probably pick up somewhere.
Meanwhile, on the opposite side of the ruins, the Falcon's arrival has not gone unnoticed by those quote-unquote humanoid life forms, an Imperial landing force, continuing the dead Emperor's eternal search for greater wealth and power by order of his Imperial governors.
See, this is the kind of stuff. Now they're getting into the kind of stuff that I've been talking about for several issues. Where you're like, okay, so there are guys still kind of operating some version of the Empire.
And I mean, this is established here, but is like something that will be picked up in every iteration of the canon from here on out. Is that
because it only makes sense?
Yeah, the Imperial governors, the Moffs, basically become warlords in this period.
Yeah. I said it only makes sense. It wouldn't. The death of the Emperor wouldn't have everyone go like, "Whoops, sorry, we've changed our ways."
Yeah. Now, what becomes stickier is that in a about like 30-year space of time, and it's even kind of shorter than that if you're clocking the span of time and the dropped lines we get between like the Mandalorian and Ahsoka is just like. By around the Ahsoka time period, we have this mentality of just like, oh, we've basically mopped up the Empire.
Right. Or at least you've got them on the run. They're in hiding. They're not exerting their power.
Right.
Because then I don't even want to get into the
because they got to go start the First Order, John. They got to go do that.
Yeah. Everything has to be reset to exactly the way you remember it.
Yeah.
Thanks, JJ. Anyway, Drezel. I see Captain Drezel's name.
Captain Drezel. That's a guy.
Now, which one was Drezel?
None of them. He only appears in this issue.
Oh, really? We didn't have a Drezel before?
No.
We've just had names like that.
Yeah, we've had Drebel is the name that Lando was using. That was like that seedy guy. We had a... there is an Imperial captain, I believe, in Empire Strikes Back that has a similar name. I'm blanking on it right now.
I mean, they all run together, right?
Yeah, but I think it's
this guy,
the ground commander in Empire. I forget his name.
Well, there's Veers.
This is
That's the one I remember because that's Julian Glover, who's also Walter Donovan in. Last Crusade.
Right.
And he's a Bond villain. That guy, by the way, Julian Glover, he racked up a Star Wars, a Bond, and an Indiana Jones in the 80s. Not bad. Anyway, Captain Drezel.
Admiral Ozzel, which is like kind of...
Yeah, that's as close. And what are they doing here exactly?
Looting.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Continuing the dead Emperor's eternal search for greater wealth and power.
Sure.
I mean, more power than wealth that we ever saw. I guess the wealth just came with it, but I never specifically saw Palpatine trying to collect money, per se.
Again, like, exactly Palpatine's whole deal wouldn't be really solidified until after this period. Right now, all we really have is, like, he was kind of a figurehead in the original like writings of A New Hope and Empire, and it's not till Return of the Jedi that he's really established as this like dark wizard character.
It's true. Once again, as I will always remind people, George didn't know the whole story. And so particularly the Emperor, he really didn't have a grasp on. That guy was in no way solidified until the last movie of this trilogy.
And so, like, what are they looking for?
Still, he's still kind of vague. But to me, the wealth is maybe it didn't start. It comes with it. The wealth and the power go together, I guess.
Sure.
So it doesn't make. But so these guys are here looting. I guess for both, because this place would be valuable, but we know there's also power to it. So anyway,
again, if this was written today, these would be like old Republic secrets or ancient Sith secrets that they'd be digging up.
Yeah, holocrons and stuff like that, right?
Or just like random kyber crystals. Like this crystal could just very easily be kyber crystal.
Totally. Okay, so this guy's talking to Dressel.
And he's like, hey, go check this out. Also, get me Sisk with an exclamation point.
Sisk.
Adjutant Sisk, report to the captain immediately. Repeat, Sisk, report to me immediately.
I always love when the comic stops to have a couple of stormtroopers just be like, sounds like the captain's calling his pet furball again. That flea bag gives me the creeps. Yeah, me too. Wonder what Dressel wants him to sniff out this time. Just a couple of working stiffs.
Unfortunately, these working stiffs are gonna get an earful because Sisk is here, and they start clutching their heads as the universal sign of psychic attack appears, which is a pink cloud above their heads.
Yep. We know it well.
I mean, honestly, that's like a Marvel color coding thing. Is like
it is
psychic powers is pink cloud above head.
Yeah, I mean, see any X-Men book.
Yeah, unless you've got the Phoenix Force, then it's fiery red.
Yeah, but that's a whole different thing.
Yeah,
that's a whole other thing, baby.
But anyway, who comes up? It's Sisk, and Sisk is a cat man.
Which I will say, when you have a David Mazzucchelli, you really get a very detailed Catman, and I love it. It's weird.
He's got a weird, wavy speech bubble as he says, "Be thankful, scum, that this scruffball limited his telepathic assault, or you would have been reduced to the very lumps of unsentient protoplasmic slime that you so resemble."
I do like him calling them scum. And then they're still like, now I hate him even more. Stinking furball.
Stinking furball. So yeah, the Empire is here, and they have a psychic catman on their payroll.
Yeah, sure.
It's Star Wars.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, it's not inconsistent.
Yeah.
Sure. That adds up.
Meanwhile, in the ruins, we got Han Solo poking around. He's going to be doing a lot of that this issue.
Yeah, this is real Han Solo treasure hunter,
Isn't Harrison Ford known for some other? I think there might be.
He's a doctor or something.
Something.
He's a teacher.
No, get off my plane. Isn't that what he?
That's it. He's a president that looks for treasure.
Yeah, that's it.
Something like that. Is it a Tom Clancy thing?
I didn't kill my wife. Pretty sure.
Yeah. Yeah, and Tommy Lee Jones is also looking for the treasure. No,
right. And he says, "Hand me the idol" to Tommy Lee Jones.
Yeah. And Tommy Lee Jones says, "I don't care," which really doesn't make sense, but that's what I remember him saying. Yeah. So Han's poking around with a tricorder, I guess. There's a lot of Star Trek stuff in here. I don't know what he's doing. What about those life readings?
But he is going to the middle of this place and he finds a statue, a mystery statue. There's a lot of like Lovecraftian, like Conan type stuff in this. He finds like an ancient civilization. There's a weird statue that he like inherently knows about. There's this weird crystal that an explorer found and came back with. And
this is speaking of that stone. We've talked about this a few times in here because there was also the weird thing where they went to the like other dimension and the interspace creatures and stuff like that.
Yeah.
There's still this stuff where it's like they don't know what Star Wars isn't yet.
Right.
Like that really doesn't fit.
And there's like a skosh of that in Star Wars, here and there.
But it's more stuff like the Night Sisters and stuff. And once again, more like the darkest of the dark side of the Sith, you know.
Sure.
That's that sort of stuff, right? Where it's like it's more like the Sith rolls into horror tropes than it is its own thing.
Yeah. But this is less horror and more like weird empathic connection, because Han is drawn to this statue. He knows inherently that this is depicts a she, even though he can't see the figure's face or body really.
Yeah, I know. I don't know where she comes from with this, but that's
because this is a depiction of the god Onrai.
Yeah.
But
and it's just it's a weird Han Solo story. It's much like the Lando thing. It's another thing where it's like, really, this is the Han Solo story. Okay.
Yeah, again, if we just imagine Admiral Akbar here this whole time with his penchant for artifacts and ancient civilizations.
I've always been a fan of archaeology myself.
So it talks about this as like the mistress of the planet Notron does not appear in this issue, as that being the cradle of all humans in the galaxy does not appear in this issue, and talked about Onrai, who is their like patron goddess, only appears in this issue.
Well, sister, I hate to disagree with you on that.
Yeah,
that's the most Han thing he says.
There's an interesting like just foible here of the Star Wars universe is that like humans as like a species in the galaxy doesn't really have like a dedicated home world.
No. And I always sort of take that as, if this is a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, it's just been, maybe they can, like humans are so just a part of this. They've been around for so long in Star Wars that no one remembers where they came from.
Yeah, and like you have Corellians and people from Naboo or Alderaan or whatever, but like there is no like the Mon Calamari come from Mon Calamari.
I will say I got a little worried about this, the place where all humans. I'm like, don't do the Next Generation episode where all aliens come from one thing, because that's still one of the most like, blah.
Yeah, there's no solid answer to that in Star Wars, and there's never really been any intention on answering that, which I'm fine with.
No. Because once again, the other Star franchise tried, and it's still one of the most like.
Yeah. Anyway, Han Solo is attacked by a psychic mind probe. And he recognizes it.
Some kind of alien mind probe pawing at my brain. Pawing like a cat. Yeah, the idea like Han knows what that feeling is. Far from the first time this has happened to me. Another alien mind probe. God damn it.
Well, actually, now that you say that, there's the sequence from Empire Strikes Back where Han is tortured by Darth Vader.
Yes.
And when he comes away, he says he didn't even ask any questions. It is sort of implied there, if you read into it a little bit more, is that like
he doesn't say he doesn't say that what he did to him necessarily.
Darth Vader doesn't have to ask any questions. He's just using the Force to pull information out of his head.
Yeah.
So maybe.
Although once again, the way Han says it in that movie didn't make it seem like he. But anyway, not again.
Yeah, fair enough.
And so here they come.
Yeah, it's stormtroopers and their psychic kitty cat named Sisk.
Yes.
Sisk is always spelled with an exclamation point. Doesn't matter where it appears in the sentence.
Yeah. Sisk has him and refers to himself in the third person.
We love a psychic third person cat.
And he is a slimy treasure hunting pirate, and he's hiding behind that statue.
And Han's like, oh shit. Oh well, time to open fire.
Zark.
Love a good Zark.
Is the name we've chosen here.
So they get into a firefight with the stormtroopers. Han's like, oh shit, what if I hit this secret button right here?
I love the idea about like, oh shit, start pushing buttons. boop, beep, boop, 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 boop. Okay.
And we're falling because a trap door opens up beneath him and he goes caterwauling into darkness.
Yeah. And he's laughing?
Well, he's laughing because eventually, as he's like plummeting through darkness, he's just like, whoa, I'm not falling as fast as I think I should be. That's hilarious. I'm alive.
Just very strange behavior for this man.
Because, yeah, he's falling into darkness. The trapdoor above him closes, leaving Sisk and the Stormtroopers behind. Sisk and the Stormtroopers, of course, one of my favorite Star Wars cover bands.
Sisk and the Stormtroopers.
Yeah, they opened for Figure and Dan in the modal nodes.
Of course they did, yeah. Their long-time rivalry, though, with the Max Rebo band.
Oh, they would never share a stage.
No, not after what happened, and they know what they did.
They know what they did.
He knows why. All right. So, yeah, Han's like, oh, trapdoor snapshot behind me, so I doubt those troopers will be following me down. Anyway, back to treasure hunting.
Yeah, and what's this? He sees some glowing rods on the wall, just like the old man described.
So that means that guy also found this trapdoor?
Well, we'll eventually learn, because like Han treks through this place, and then he finds this like weird control room, and it's implied here that the Empire found a different way down here, because the Empire has set up like tents and like equipment down in this control room.
Yeah, can I tell you, they also appear to have set up a television broadcast camera.
Yeah. You know, for doing the weather.
There is no other way to read this thing than as a camera on a tripod. It's even got the like stick that controls how the thing pans. I mean,
it's got like the pitch and yaw controls on this thing.
Yeah, it's got a little satellite for broadcast on it. There's also a big light box over there to get the proper lighting on it.
Look, there's
coming to you live from Soul 5.
Mazzucchelli maybe didn't know how to draw I don't know, archaeological dig site, but he did know how to draw a studio.
There you go, yeah. So what's it supposed to look like? Like a news studio? I guess.
Well, there's a desk, isn't there?
Hi, this is Captain Drezel, coming to you from Soul 5.
Captain Drezel at the 15s and 50s with the weather.
All right, so Han starts messing around. Well, he doesn't really. He just walks up to these things. Now, the crystals are in the desk.
They're in the desk. There's clearly pedestals for 4 of them, and there's room for a 5th, which might or may not be in Han's pocket, because we see from his little side saddlebag a hum starting, and it resonates with a ning, and an ooh, and an eem, and a that is happening with the other crystals.
Harrison Ford carrying a shoulder bag.
Yeah, this is so Indiana Jones, it's not even funny.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like we're not even pretending anymore.
But as Solo creeps forward, the whine coming from his crystal intensifies to a wail, and is answered in kind by its fellows. Solo hesitates, mesmerized by the waves of sound and light pulsating from the glittering crystals.
And then, huh? Footsteps?
Which we can write the sounds of the crystals humming, but we can't write the sounds of footsteps.
No. And then I gotta say, one of my favorite Han Solo lines ever is, "Blasted, this is what I get for pussyfooting around."
Because they're cats, you get it?
Mm-hmm. I'd better duck out of sight, everyone who's reading.
Yeah, so he does that. He ducks into one of these tents as the stormtroopers come in and start poking around, being like, I don't know why Drezel has us down here guarding rocks, but whatever.
I gotta get those crystals before their brain blasting buddy, now there's a great turn of phrase, shows up. Good thing they stopped caterwauling. Yep.
But anyway, I do like this line here as somebody from behind Han Solo says, aren't you a little scruffy for a stormtrooper?
By the way, everyone always calls Han Solo scruffy. He really isn't.
Yeah, but Leia said it, so everyone has to say it.
just think it's interesting because to me, I mean, like his hair's kind of shaggy, but like he doesn't have a beard or anything. He isn't really scruffy. He's pretty well put together.
His
for a space
rejoinder
pirate.
to that remark is, "Who's scruffy looking?"
Yeah. Well, I have no issue with Leia saying it, but now a second person has said it.
A lizard man to boot.
Scruffy looking. Because all lizard people have to talk like that.
Yes, of course. This is, of course, Dr. Zathan.
Dr. Zathan. Oh, that's a crazy name.
I love a lizard man archaeologist.
By the way, Dr. Zathan is such a Flash Gordon-y name.
Oh, sure. And Fem Noir isn't?
Noir.
It's FEM space NU apostrophe AR. Or not apostrophe, dash.
Fem Noir.
Yeah. This is some like, oh, what Kryptonian clan are you from? The Noir.
Yeah. Yeah. New from the House of R.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. And so she says he must be a pirate, but he might have a ship. And he's like, I got a ship.
What's
it to you?
Woman who is tied up next to this lizard man.
And then I need her to go, I'm about to give him a bunch of exposition.
Yeah, so Femme Noir says a big, lengthy explanation that's basically like, we're archaeologists, we found a record of this place, the Empire basically kidnapped us and Shanghai us into coming here and studying this place, and now they tied us up.
She takes two huge word bubbles to describe exactly what I assumed happened.
Yeah. The barbarians confined us and confiscated the crystals for weapons development. We don't intend to use the crystals' potential. See the crystals' potential wasted in that way. You must help us escape with them. We don't have any money, but... And Han's like, okay, Jesus Christ, I'll help.
And then this line, that was some speech, babe. You remind me of someone.
Who?
He means Leia?
Is Leia giving...
Does Leia give a lot of speeches? I don't... Yeah, there's not really a speechifying character.
C-3PO?
He's the most talkative guy. I don't know. And I mean, I will say, they immediately write her as Leia, though, right? Where it's like, save it, Solo, just on time. It's like, instantly, he just has this dynamic with every woman.
Yeah. Anyway, so the two researchers are freed, and now Han's lining up some shots to take out some of these stormtroopers, and he does.
He says, I'll just stun these guys, and then proceeds to kill them based on what I'm looking at.
Don't worry about it. They're stormtroopers.
Also, have we ever seen Han's blaster set to stun?
No, because you don't stun space Nazis. You shoot them.
No. I know. That's what I think is so interesting, because it's clearly drawn as a... I'm wondering if that was a note. Like, no, don't have him kill people. Because it's clearly drawn as death, and then they added stun, right?
I'll just stun these guys.
Yeah, even though he clearly kills them.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Yeah, I just think it's funny.
I mean, he's going to kill everyone here by the end of the issue, so...
I know, yeah. What are we pulling punches for? And so the crystals start going crazy when he gets near them.
And they start clutching their ears, going like, oh, I heard something like this earlier. Dr. Zathan is saying that there's some sort of reaction happening.
Always an interesting idea, too, that Lizard would put his hands to where human ears would be.
Lizards have ears.
Do they have ears like that?
I mean, they have like holes in their head that act as aural receptors.
I guess, yeah. I never really thought about it, to be fair. And also the idea that, once again, we are putting that on Earth lizards, and this is a lizard alien man. I have no idea.
Sure. What? Yeah.
Why not?
He hears through the pricking of his thumbs, John.
Yeah, there you go. But he can only think of one thing that would cause that reaction. Young man, I demand... I love the idea, too, of like a lizard being like, young man, I demand to see what's in your bag. I'm Dr. Zathon.
Dr. Zathon. Young man, I demand to see what is in your bag. I love a gentle, like, well-spoken lizard man.
Oh, yes, I'm a learned lizard.
I knew it. The key crystal.
Ah! And so, he's got the key crystal. Do you realize... And then pew, 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 stormtroopers are back.
Uh-oh. Solo, the Empire must not get their hands on that crystal. It's the key to controlling the others.
Doc, I don't intend for them to get us or the crystal. See that doorway behind us? And then Han proceeds to, once again, like he's holding his hand up by his head. It's a weird
it's
way
a weird gun pose that you see in comic books a lot, where the character's elbow is bent, he's holding the gun up near his face, but like his wrist is cocked at such an angle that if you fired a weapon, it would smack you in the face.
It's a very strange way to shoot, and he's holding it like perfectly straight, so his wrist is bent.
Yeah,
it's a very weird way, but yeah, you do see it in comics because they want this framing, even though it doesn't make any sense. This guy's straight up dead because he shoots this guy in the head.
Yeah, Han tells the two scientists to run for it. Han's shooting back. He's got this crystal, and he looks like he's just buying time for them to escape. When what's this? Psychic Catman.
I love the stormtrooper saying, Captain Dressel.
Captain Dressel. I'm the one Scottish stormtrooper here. Long live the Empire.
There'd be whales here. Yeah. It's very, yeah. I told you to guard the crystals, dolts, not blast them to bits.
Let's scandal him, Captain. The slime won't escape again.
I need a whole comic about how Dressel and Sisk hooked up.
Oh, that meet cute is something for the ages.
I just love the idea that like this one, Imperial captain. This didn't get a sign there. Somehow just stumbled upon a psychic cat and is like, oh, I'm bringing this thing on all my missions.
No, it's a life debt situation, just like Han and Chewie.
That would be great. Yeah. And of course, puts the whim wham on Han Solo here.
Yeah, Han goes flying backwards like he's on a Steranko cover.
Yep. Yeah, with the of the swirling thing. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then, boy, Mazzucchelli's going nuts on this next page with the screeching cat.
Yeah. Han is being attacked psychically, but he holds up the mental energy rod that he's got in his hand, and that somehow causes a feedback loop that hits Sisk with a blast of pink energy.
And produces a yow!
And then he collapses to the ground. Han, barely conscious, manages to struggle up to the console and slam the crystal back into place, and it lets out a huge blast of rush of light and sound.
That goes, ooh.
You know what this sound is, John?
What's that?
This is the sound that was used in the special edition when Obi-Wan scares away the the Tusken Raiders.
Yeah. There you go. And so they're all blown. But what happens to them exactly?
Don't worry about it.
They just kind of disappear. I don't know.
I mean,
once again,
because Han is blinded at this point. He's like, can't see anything but flashing lights. Sure hope I'm escaping in the right direction.
Not again. Once again with it. But also, does this not read a little like the end of a movie Harrison Ford was in a couple years before this, where certain fascist villains unlock a power that destroys them?
Don't look at it. Don't look at it.
Don't look, Marion. Just don't look.
So he catches up with Dr. Zathan and Femme Noir, and they escape up a tube.
Are you all right, my boy? Yeah. And so, you know who'd be great as Dr. Zathan? His co-star from Raiders of the Lost Ark, John Rhys-Davies.
Ah, yes, of course.
Are you all right, my boy? Yeah.
So Han explains and then says, after that, the crystals were too hot to pry loose, so I ran for it. The way they were boiling up energy, I'm afraid they're going to blow.
Okay.
So Han immediately knows that this place is going to explode, I guess.
And so it's just like, and so that explains why there will be no lingering impact of this.
Yeah, because Han and the scientists are running. Han gives one last salute to the statue of this fallen goddess, and they flee. Yeah, they might as well be in a minecart.
Yeah. And so, yeah, they're running to the Falcon. She's giving him more shit about why'd you have to park so far away.
Chewie is waiting there for him. They get back up in the Falcon. There's big waves of ringed energy coming out of the city now. It's creating this high-pitched ee.
Yeah, and so the Falcon takes off. But what's this? TIE fighters inbound.
Uh-oh. It's fine, because the energy, the big E's make them blow up.
Yeah, they just come apart and like in the air. And
they get hit by the lettering. How are they supposed to dodge that?
Yeah. Is that a giant E?
My God.
And then the whole planet explodes?
Or like part of it anyway, because there's this huge zzz, and then riding the crest of the tremendous blast, the Millennium Falcon zooms to safety.
Haven't seen a blast like that since we blew away the Death Star, eh, Chewie?
Yeah, the scientists give him a little bit of shit, like, oh, you blew up that archaeological find. Look, we're grateful, but boy, how much was lost.
And then, for no reason, this woman kisses Han Solo.
Yeah, because Solo says, well, sister, sometimes I do amaze even myself. And she turns to him and kisses him and says, so do I, Solo, so do I.
And then the book just ends.
And then the issue is over. Yep.
Han, about time I got a pleasant surprise out of this trip. Han, are we not in a committed relationship?
I mean, that's sort of an open question as of the last issue we saw Han and Leia in, right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, because of the last issue. At the end of Return of the Jedi, it's pretty clear they're together.
Right.
Because you have the whole thing about where he thinks, if you want to be with Luke, then she's like, no, I love you, Han. So it seems like it's just very weird. Once again, this comic does this a lot. They just want Han Solo to be New Hope Han Solo.
Well, and he's Harrison Ford, sex symbol of the mid-'80s.
And actually, even worse, this issue really wants him to just be Indiana Jones. But which, by the way, at the same time, Marvel is publishing an Indiana Jones comic. I wish they would put that on the app. I think it'd be interesting to. I have some of the collections of those.
Because this is the woman in this issue is absolutely what's her name from Temple of Doom.
Oh, Willie Scott.
Yeah.
Actually, if you look at particularly in the second to last panel here, she just looks like Carrie Fisher with blonde hair.
Well, he does remind her of somebody.
Yeah. No, yeah, Willie. Because they kind of kiss for no reason at the end of Temple of Doom. I never really bought that relationship at all in that movie.
It's because somebody needs to smooch Harrison Ford at the end of a story. That's just the rule.
Yeah, and then he gets sprayed with water from an elephant.
It's why Tommy Lee Jones and him make out for so long in The Fugitive.
I always forget about that part for some reason. Come here, you.
There's like an aggressive amount of tongue. It's uncomfortable.
Yeah. I think we both feel what's going on here. I love you, Dr. Richard Kimball. I can't think of many movies where Tommy Lee Jones kisses anyone, and that's probably a good thing.
I don't know if his face can articulate into that sort of configuration.
I'm trying to imagine that guy making out with somebody. Like, oh my God, that'd be so weird.
Look, sometimes you have to kiss a marble statue, and his name is Tommy Lee Jones.
See, Tommy Lee Jones is one of those guys. I had to look it up because it's like... okay, he's 79 as of this recording, but he was 79 when we were kids for some reason.
Pretty sure, yep.
He's the guy. How has he been like 70-something years old for 40 years?
Almost certain that's true.
Yeah, I've never seen a young Tommy Lee Jones.
He's one of those actors that settled into his mid-50s around 35.
Yeah, he and Morgan Freeman has that too, where you're like, but Morgan Freeman's been 80 for 30 years.
But yeah, so that was a one-off issue of unspectacular proportions.
An aggressively forgettable issue.
Yeah. This was one of the few times where I was going through and doing a little bit of background research on like the things that appeared in this issue. Because I usually do that on Wikipedia just to be like, oh, how has this affected the canon at all, if at all, going forward? And like
this Not at all, I would assume.
Zero things. Like sometimes you get a Mandalore where it's like, oh, we've got to establish what a Mandalore is. And sometimes you have a Sol 5 that literally doesn't have an entry in canon Star Wars as of today.
One of the things I love about this is they blow up the whole planet basically at the end to make it go like, and now no one even can do anything with it. It's over. We have erased it from canon ourselves. Making this entire story a complete waste.
Well, look, sometimes you do that. Sometimes you get a Cody Sunchild who sinks a whole reality into non-existence.
Oh my God. Oh, that, by the way, when you talk about one-offs, Cody Sunchild, that's got to be the top of the weird one-offs.
It's up there.
It's one of the weirdest where you're just like, I don't even know, man. Look, drugs were fun back then, man. I don't know. Jesus Christ.
The 80s were fun, but we're paying for them now.
It does have that feeling of like, what if, man? I mean, I do love any of the stories about guys like Claremont and stuff like, we'd smoke a J, walk around the park, and then we'd write a Doctor Strange, like, you're like, yeah, they read like that. I totally see that. Anyway, there were Denny O'Neil and I sparked one up, and it's like, yeah.
Look, sometimes you go out, you see an Indiana Jones movie, but you have to write a Star Wars comic in the morning.
Did you see that new Indiana Jones movie? Yeah, I think I just had an idea for a Star Wars comic. Because I did want to look. When did the Indiana Jones Marvel book?
When did their comic start?
It's got to be around the same time, I would think.
Written by Roy Richardson, of course.
1980. Wait a minute. 1983 to 86.
Okay, so it is running at this time.
Yeah. Yeah. Marvel Comics. Yeah. 34 issues.
And it's just like more Indiana Jones adventures, right?
I mean, Indiana Jones is way easier to just do fill-in one-off adventures, obviously, than Star Wars. Yeah. Like I said, I would love to read those. I mean, I have them, but it'd be fun to do them on the show, maybe as bonus or something at some point. Because it's there's going to be similar, The Further Adventures of Indiana Jones was the name of the comic.
Of course.
Yeah. So, but there would similarly be like stuff where you're like, wait, that doesn't jibe at all with what's said in Last Crusade, or Oh man,
Don't worry about
if you look at the covers, they're all very 80s Marvel covers. I think there's a werewolf on one of these.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Anyway, if you want more from us, including maybe we'll talk about some Indiana Jones stuff or something. I don't know.
Sure.
I've also been curious to maybe do Star Trek ones as well.
Oh, the dark side of the coin we've been doing.
I thought that might be fun. So maybe maybe a good reason to roll over to our Patreon. They're not on there now, but they may be someday. But there's lots of good stuff on the Patreon, which is patreon.com/punchup. And not only do you get fun things like early episodes, bonus shows, including you and I, Gorgoni, talking about old superhero TV. Mm-hmm. You can also listen to Brendan Jones and I talking about horror icons of the past, like Star Wars star Peter Cushing. We did a whole mini-series about his works in the horror genre.
A man who loves his slippers.
He sure does. And he loved the idea. Yeah, he's like, I don't know what a moth is, but I love that I'm a grand one. Yeah. Anyway, so you can head over and check that out. Once again, it's patreon.com/punchup and punchup-ENT. Where else can people check us out, Gorgoni?
youtube.com/@punchupentertainment. While you're there, you can watch this show all over again, but actually with your eyeballs instead of just your ears, and read the comic along with us while you're there. You can see all of the strange art decisions that we constantly comment on, and yet in the podcast form, you may not be able to see. Ooh. While you're there, you can also check out our YouTube exclusive stuff like the Material Components miniature campaign, The Shadow Kingdom, or Punch Up Plays, where Elliot Lewis and I are currently playing through the Mass Effect franchise. Please like, comment, subscribe. Let us know in the comments below what you think the weirdest one-shot we've covered thus far is. Does this even make the list? I don't think so. Like I said, there's some real weird ones out there, and Cody Sunchild is up there.
Yeah, for sure.
But I think that is going to do it for us this week. As always, I have been Mike Gergoni.
I'm John Campbell.
And remember, may the panel be with you.